Hey, what's up? This your boy Be True, and man, I haven't been on camera in a while. It's a little weird. The last time I uploaded on this channel was about 5 years ago, and if you see me looking down, I got some notes written so I stay on track here. And I looked a lot different, I looked a little bit like, somewhere over here, looked like that. And a lot has changed. Grew my hair out. Still rock a beard, but it's shorter. And I think it's no surprise that COVID kind of screwed everyone over. It changed a lot of things, and unfortunately for me, it was when I decided to stop streaming and doing all that, when that all exploded, and I regret it a lot because, in the last 5 years, things have not been good for me. I made some bad decisions, and they kind of got me back to square one here. I had actually moved out on my own in 2020. For the first time, I had a cat. I still have a cat. And I was on my own, and I was working with my dad, and I had been living with my dad, which is, I just needed to get out on my own, because I'm 31 now. I was 26, I needed to go. But unfortunately, the decision to stop working with my dad was kind of where it all started going downhill. I got a job at a factory, which, if anybody knows anything about factory jobs, they kind of fucking suck. I was working 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. for a few months, and it was absolutely soul-crushing. I just hated it. It was good money, so I stuck with it a little bit, but the problem with moving out on my own was I then was able, and I should mention that marijuana was legalized in Michigan, where I am. So I had started buying a lot of weed to cope with the job, and it led to the point where I was actually smoking on the job, which, it's not good, but all my coworkers were doing it. I didn't smoke with them because I'm a very, individual person. But things kind of escalated from there, got to the point where I would just smoke from the second I woke up, and eventually led me to get this overwhelming anxiety that I ended up coming to a head when I just no-showed one day because I wasn't feeling good. Or I think I might have even just called off, but I got so anxious about missing a day and how I would have to explain it, even though nobody would have given a shit. I know that now, but I just ended up never going back and never quitting or anything. It was air quotes. Quitting. I just kind of left, and I didn't want to tell anybody, so I just sat on it for a couple months, just pretending that I was going to work and just kind of using that as an excuse to not talk to people. And I actually don't remember the timeline. I'm pretty sure it was before this all happened that I had just left every Discord I was in, and I stopped talking to any of my online friends that I made when I was a Twitch streamer, which was a coping mechanism for me because I just wanted to go smoke my weed and forget everything, and I barely talked to my IRL friends at this point, try to keep this all under wraps. And I definitely developed a dependency on weed, which lasted for 5 years because I've only recently stopped. But the biggest things that really derailed everything for me, was I didn't have any money because I wasn't working. So I just jacked up credit cards, even paying rent with credit cards, which if anybody hears this, just know, don't fucking do that. Just swallow your pride and go get another job, or even do what I eventually did, which was DoorDash. But I was just so anxious from smoking all the damn time that it took me like a year to do that, to the point where, unfortunately, which is kind of how I'm back to square one here. I'm back with my father. Obviously, that wasn't obvious. So I am living with my father again. Same apartment, 10 years later, which is kind of crazy. Different room, though. So you wouldn't recognize it if you had watched me stream before. But anyway, weed wasn't cutting it no more. So I developed an alcohol addiction, or alcoholism. I was an alcoholic fully. You know, I was smoking cigarettes. I was doing pretty much everything I could to not feel. And I did end up DoorDashing for like a year and a half. I kept up with bills for a little while, but then the weed and the booze just kind of became what I wanted to do all the time, because it was the only time that I wasn't thinking about how fucked up I fucked my life, you know? And all of this really to say that I think the biggest mistake of all was quitting streaming when I did, and quitting, you know, my online friendships and all that, because it led me to this self-isolation, which has really only recently, you know, 5 years later, it's 2026, it's the middle of 2026, I'm finally kind of breaking back out of that shell. You know, I'm coming up on a year sober off of alcohol, June 10th. I am over a year off of all nicotine, and I am almost 5 months now, because I quit. My last time I got high was the end of January, last day, 31st. So doing a lot of good there, which is now, I'm just now getting over the kind of the mental withdrawal of it all, because I just became so dependent on it, you know. And I'm not, you know, not to say, you know, people smoke weed and they're fine, right? You know, it's vilified a lot, but it's like, if you can smoke it and still live, it is what it is. But unfortunately, I came from a background of, you know, addiction. My mother was an addict when she was younger, ended up dying because she couldn't get off alcohol and cigarettes. My dad's an alcoholic, was a lot worse. My aunt was a hard drug addict for a while. My other aunt died of overdose. So, you know, it's just all in my family, and I unfortunately let myself start. It started with 2018 AGDQ, when I took my first real shot of alcohol. You know, it was for a friend's birthday and for my girlfriend at the time, just because she was a party animal in that phase of her life, and I get it. And honestly, I had fun, but it kind of deteriorated quickly, because I can even remember AGDQ 2020, which was the last thing I went to for speedrunning, or for anything really. Haven't really left Michigan since. I very obviously was just not handling the alcohol well. I was drunk from the time I got there until I left, like all week, 100% from when I woke up to when I went to bed. And that sucked. You know, I wasn't a good version of myself back then. Had fun, but could have had more fun if I wasn't out of my fucking gourd. I didn't touch on this. I'm not even using these notes. I keep looking down. It's just because I don't want to look at myself. I eventually, long story short here, I got evicted because I stopped paying rent, because I stopped working at DoorDash with doing DoorDash, because I was just so overwhelmed with all these substance issues that I just stayed at home. Because when the door was closed and I was in my home, I felt like I was safe, and that was the only time I felt safe. And that's just the problem with these dependencies that you build up, right? And even when I moved back here, it took 2 years. Like, I've been here for, I got evicted 3 years ago. I've been living here for going on 3 years now. and I've only recently got a new job. Well, not really new. I'm working back with my father, and it's only part-time, but I'm working on myself to get to the point that I can pick my life back up. And the good news is that I've taken my health a lot more seriously. You know, even before I quit smoking, I had been losing a little bit of weight. For those that don't know me, I can show this picture again. You can't really tell here, but I was larger. I was definitely a lot larger when I first started streaming. For those that remember me, I was over 300 pounds. I've been over 300 pounds a lot. And I didn't have it written down, but I know I was like 315 at some point when I came back here in 2023. But I do have, end of October, I was 256. And since then, I'm now 181. I am, you know, I'm actually almost normal sized. So that's awesome. And I am doing a lot better. But anyway, to segue back to what I was saying, when I moved back here, I was still hard into the addictions, right? And I unfortunately live right across the street from a weed store. So I would go until I ran out of all the money I had saved up. And then unfortunately, and this is just, you know, something I've never even said out loud, so it sucks, but it's what I did, right? I stole money from my father in order to go buy more weed and eventually to go buy liquor. At my worst, I took 27 shots of Fireball in one day, which was crazy. I just was completely out of my mind. And, you know, I regret a lot of things, and I most certainly regret that. But all of this really to say, like, you know, I haven't uploaded on this channel in like 6 years. I haven't streamed in 5 years. I haven't done the things that when I became an adult were making me happy, and it's because I think I was running away to make sure that I could just be with my addictions, right? And I'm pretty confident in saying that I've beaten those. You know, relapse is always possible. Most addicts relapse. It's just the way it is. But I have a good thing going, you know. The cravings are very, very, very rare now. And I like feel a lot healthier. I feel a lot better. I'm eating right, walking every day, you know, just doing what I should be, right, to live. And eventually I will get back to life. You know, I need to save up money. I need to buy a car again, because I got my car towed as well when I got evicted a couple months after that, because it was a lease. I had tanked my credit, so I couldn't release, and it just kind of has been gone. So I just kind of don't have a lot going for me. But really the whole point of this is kind of, you know, where I'm going in the future. And I did finally make the decision to come back to streaming. And, you know, who knows how it goes? It might go bad. I might stop again. You never know, right? But I think it will be very good for me to rebuild friendships and rebuild a community, you know, and just kind of get over this isolation and social anxiety I've placed on myself, you know, break back out of the shell. You know, I'm going to be 32 years old this year. I can't just talk to zero fucking people, you know, like I talk to my IRL friends like once a month, if that. And it's not even just see them, like talk on Discord. We have each other on Discord. I literally only have one Discord, and it's with my 2 IRL friends, and I still don't talk to them. So I just want to get back to my life, you know, like nobody really understands just how much streaming helped me in my life. Like I built such good friendships. I was leaving the state. I was traveling like every 6 months. I was seeing people. I was meeting new people and all that. And the thing that started it all was Kingdom Hearts, which is going to be what I'm going to be doing, at least in the interim, you know, at the start of it. I want to do what got me to where I was, which was, you know, beginner any percent of Kingdom Hearts 1. And it's actually been 6 months since I started doing practice again. And it's just been that long to get my brain right to want to do it. But also it took a long time to figure out how to stop getting it to crash, because my shit was crashing like every 20 minutes. And I was like, okay, well, I can't do speed runs, right? So I just kind of shoved it to the wayside, but I fixed it, so we're good. Anyway, I actually thought this would be a lot more rambly. It kind of was, but I'm still under 20 minutes, which is nice. Basically, I just want to rebuild, you know, stop being afraid of people seeing me, you know, like, nobody beats yourself. No, wait, time out. Nobody beats you up like you do, or whatever the hell the saying is. Like, I've had all these ideas about myself, and it's my own insecurity and my own self-hatred that have really kept me back, not letting people make their own calls and decisions, right? And I really do miss all my friends that I made speedrunning. And, you know, I don't think everybody's gonna want to rebuild friendship with me or anything like that, because when I was a drunk, I was not a great presence online for the little bit of time that I did take to talk to people, which was mostly just I would get super hammered and message a couple old friends and then just start talking about killing myself or whatever. So yeah, this is more like, for me than anything, is just like I needed to like video journal, like talk out loud, and, you know, just get this stuff out into the open. You know, I don't expect a lot of people to see this video anyway, because I didn't really have a big YouTube presence. So, you know, I don't know what the future's gonna hold, but I know that I want to at least try to stream and compete at my favorite speedrun of all time again. You know, a lot of things have changed, but I've still got it. So, I mean, I'm playing well in my practice for the most part. I don't know what my goals are going to be 100% yet, but, you know, keep an eye out. I think I'm going to start real soon. Like, I'm recording this on Monday, the 25th. My goal is to start streaming again tomorrow, but if not, maybe Thursday, like really soon from when this video is uploaded, and just get over myself, you know? You know, the worst thing I can do is I can start streaming and people won't watch and won't like it, and nothing's really going to change. If I don't do it, the worst that can happen is I'll stay isolated and I'll stay in my own head, and I don't want that. And I have this, the problem is I've had like this complex, right? Because most people know me nowadays for the tutorial I made. I have a Kingdom Hearts tutorial on my channel. I still get it talked about to this day. And it makes me, it was difficult to want to like say hi in chats or anything on Twitch, because being recognized was like the last thing I wanted. But my name is synonymous with the game, you know, the Kingdom Hearts game. So it's hard to not have a little bit of a like not a god complex, because I'm not really that confident in myself, but like I knew my name was known, and that scared me. But it doesn't scare me anymore, you know. I have whatever I did in the past it's great. Not all of it, obviously, because this whole video was about not being great, but speedrunning wise, like, it was good, it was great, but now it's time to, you know, come out of retirement, if you will, 5 years later, and see what I can build now, you know, see what I can do, and just kind of get back to living. So yeah, if you made it this far to the end of this video, thank you very much. That's awesome. I don't think I touched on everything I wanted to, but who gives a shit. Yeah, so if you want to keep following my journey, that's awesome. I'll link my Twitch in the description if you don't follow it. And yeah, thank you. Love you all. And just keep fighting, man. Keep fighting.